Hey guys, what is up? It's the man, the myth, the legend, Quad MFT here, and today I'll be bringing you a Black Ops 2 gameplay where I get 133 kills and only 3 deaths on the map Drone in ground war kill confirmed, playing fully solo using the MSMC submachine gun. And I really like the MSMC, so I'm going to be telling you guys my setup here today. The attachments that I'm using on the MSMC are the foregrip and the suppressor. Now the reasoning behind why I'm using the foregrip is so it reduces the recoil. The reason I like to reduce recoil is because whenever I find that I have a lot of recoil on my submachine gun or assault rifle or whatever type of gun I'm using, I find that I just really don't do nearly as well. And the reason that I'm using the suppressors is because it's basically a necessity if you're looking to go on long gun streaks, kill streaks, whatever it is you're looking to go on for a long time for. You really need the suppressor so the enemies don't know where you're at when you're going to be shooting, because this game really is meant for more rushing type of people. When you're more of a camper or a defensive player, you just don't seem to do as well. But the perk setup that I'm using is Ghost, Hardline, Scavenger, Toughness, and Dexterity. Dexterity is a lot of a big help. I've noticed I've tried to play without Dexterity, and I really don't do nearly as well. Again, you have to be able to climb over obstacles faster for me. If you can't climb over obstacles faster, I feel like I'm unarmed for an hour or so. I just feel like I'm unarmed and I can't do anything if an enemy were to show up. And sometimes enemies do show up, and that's another reason why I use Dexterity basically on all my classes. Now also the reason that I'm using Ghost is again to stay off the radar when the enemies are trying to find me. And the reason I use Toughness. Now Toughness is definitely a necessity for me. Toughness is basically the most important perk in the game. Most people don't really use Toughness as much as they did in the beginning of the game, but I find when you use Toughness, I do so much better than I would without it. It keeps it so I don't flinch whenever I get hit by an enemy, and I get in a lot of close quarter situations where I'm almost dead and I have to end up saving myself, and the only way that I can save myself is by using the Toughness perk, so definitely go out and use that. And the reason that I'm using Scavenger is because when I'm killing all the enemies and I run out of ammo, that's definitely not the best situation, because when you're running out of ammo, you have to pick up somebody else's gun, and the reason you have your own gun is because you're comfortable with that gun. Why else would you pick up someone else's gun? You're probably not nearly as comfortable with an MK48 with a holographic sight or something random. I don't know why randoms always use the weirdest guns. That never really put sense into me. But really guys, try out the MSMC submachine gun if you haven't already. It's a great submachine gun. I've been using it basically since the beginning of the game, so definitely try that out. The score streak setup that I'm using today is the Orbital VSAT, the K9 unit, and the Swarm. Now the reason that I'm using the specific score streak setup is because these score streaks seem to work together really well. I really like how they weave in and out. I like the Orbital VSAT. As you can see right here as an example, as a specific part in the gameplay, I get a double kill on 2 enemies that had just spawned because I had my Orbital VSAT up. You know, the really cool thing about the Orbital VSAT, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but there is 0 zip, none, 0, again, 0, 0, 0, no counter towards the Orbital VSAT. Even if you're running Ghost, Blind Eye, Cold-Blooded, and Dead Silence all at the same time, you will still show up on my Orbital VSAT. So I'm also using the K9 unit and the Swarm. The K9 unit and the Swarm seem to work together. It also has to do with the map that I'm playing on. I'm playing on Drone, every YouTuber's favorite map. Just kidding guys, everybody hates Drone for some reason, but I really like it. I like how it's indoors and outdoors, and I like the green. Green is probably one of my favorite colors, but that doesn't really have to do with anything. But the K9 unit and the Swarm seem to work together really well. The K9 unit can go inside in all the buildings and take out all the enemies just because it can go inside and maybe pick off a few stragglers on the outside. Right there I get the nuclear medal, which means I just went on a 30 gun streak, which in my opinion is a little bit more impressive than a 100 plus, but if I put them both together, I hope you guys are really impressed. And also that's a little bit more impressive than a MW3 Moab, because back in MW3 you would have all the perks on the game on and you just have to get a 25 gun streak and then call on the Moab. But in this you just get a medal after a 30 gun streak with only having the certain amount of perks how you have on or whatever score streaks you have set up, because the score streaks don't do anything towards your nuclear. But the reason that I'm using the Swarm is so it can go outside and kill all the enemies. I get really excited when my Swarm goes absolutely insane, because the Swarm is the highest score streak in the game, so you better expect it to do really well. It's a really great score streak in my opinion. It can also go inside if an enemy is near a window, so definitely try out this specific score streak setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like rating down below. If we could try and hit 115 likes, that'd be absolutely insane. It's been Quad MFT, and I'll see you next time.